In beautiful North Yorkshire, in the pretty town of Kirby Moorside, lives auctioneer Angus Ashworth.
110, commission's out, 110 in the room.
Here he runs his auction house.
I am selling at £1,800.
With his devoted team of valuers.
Wow, this is amazing.
Auction clerks.
The electric shock machine. A few of my staff could do with this.
And removal men.
It suits you, that, you know.
Do you think?
Together they help people up and down the country clear their cluttered homes.
Oh my goodness, did all that come out of my house?
Yes.
Using his years of knowledge,
That's probably one of the most valuable 50p's there is.
Angus finds gems,
This is a fantastic collection.
heirlooms,
Look at that. I think that's one of the best things on the job, that.
treasures,
That takes me back to being a 12-year-old boy, that does.
and the weird and wonderful,
We like horses, don't we? Wow. OK.
which he brings back to the auction house
It's the best silver in the world, isn't it? Yorkshire silver.
to put under his gavel,
65, 75, 85, 90, is it?
making them a tidy,
1,200, 1,300, 1,400 pounds.
little
£20,800.
sum.
I think I need a light done.
It's one of those cold but bright days, like fresh. I like these days.
I haven't been to Hornsey before, so I'm excited.
Have you not? Well, you are in for a treat. There's lots of caravan holidays, isn't there, in Hornsey?
Yes. Today, Angus and auction house cataloguer Charlotte are heading 50 miles to the Yorkshire coast to meet Vanda and John.
They're certainly not in bad condition, are they?
Well, hopefully not.
We met in Grimsby.
Yes, but where did we meet?
Oh, wow, Briggergate bus station.
John was he was a motorcyclist and just so handsome and everything. We just seemed to get on and that was it.
John stayed on two wheels, later serving as a motorcycle police officer, and Vanda worked as a carer until they relocated to run a caravan site in Hornsey on the North Yorkshire coast.
The same year, I was appointed a town councillor, and during that 12 years, I was mayor twice.
And Vanda,
Mayoress.
Now, we both had the chains.
Yeah.
after serving the good people of Hornsey for 12 years, this power couple have retired and downsized. Now their home is full to the brim with 60 years worth of stuff that they no longer have space for.
Neither of us are getting any younger, and to some extent we'll be reluctant to see things go. Now is the time, I think, that we need to get shut and get everything tidied up.
Oh, we're coming up.
We're getting near the
Can
coast
see the
now.
sea.
Oh, look at that.
That is really nice.
The breakers coming up on the beach.
If Angus can sell the things John and Vanda no longer have room for, they have plans for the money.
Our garden, particularly the bottom left-hand corner, all that's there at the moment is a rather tatty-looking shed. We would like to replace that by a summer house. So we're hoping that anything we make will go towards that.
I like that, Yorkshire Rose.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's a good omen, Angus.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Angus. How are you doing? You all right?
Charlotte, yes, thank you.
I brought Charlotte with me and the rain. Come in. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. What can we help with?
Well, basically, we've had a lot of stuff boxed up for a while with nowhere to display it. Quite a bit of aircraft stuff.
OK. You can't help but notice that.
Yeah.
So what's the story with that, then?
Well, in 1979, I got involved with the Lincolnshire Aircraft Recovery Group, and we found this. It was a Mark I Lancaster.
Oh, wow.
Now there's something you don't see every day. It's the propeller from a Lancaster bomber, one of the most successful military aircraft of World War II. completing 156,000 raids, including the famous Dam Busters mission.
I mean, what a great thing and a great bit of, well, British history, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
And is this something that you'd be happy for it to go? Or?
Yes, I think it's time for somebody else to appreciate it.
And so what are all of these bits here?
Well, this one is an Edison phonograph. Predates the flat discs. It's clockwork, of course. In here is a set of
wax rolls.
cylinders.
This is like a vinyl record in some respects.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And this would go on, and there would be a big trumpet on here. Do you have the trumpet?
We do.
Excellent. That's all right. There's a needle on there, just like you'd see on a gramophone,
Yeah.
and that would read the tune. It's sort of a precursor to the record player as you know it. And, you know, it was developed by Thomas Edison, who was obviously a very famous inventor and creator.
Phonographs are very collectible. Angus and Charlotte have only been in here for 2 minutes and they've already discovered some gems.
OK, so is everything sort of spread around the house, or are we...?
We've got quite a bit in the shed.
OK.
And there's a large collection of your
Lilliput Lane cottages.
in the main bedroom upstairs.
Shall we take a look and
By all means.
see what we can do? Right, Where are we going? The shed? Yeah, go on, then,
we'll
John,
go
we'll
to
go
the
to the shed.
We're going upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
Right, and this is the bedroom where
Oh, wow.
everything is.
So this is the big Lilliput Lane collection.
Yes.
These ceramic models of real English and Welsh period buildings were first made by Cumbrian sculptor David Tate in 1982, and Vanda started collecting them during a holiday to Cromer in Norfolk.
I saw a cottage, it was in the shop window, a little Norfolk cottage,
Aww.
and I said, I shall have to have that one.
And it just
So that was my
escalated from
first
there.
one, yes, and yeah, every time something special came out, we bought it.
How does it feel to be getting rid of these? I mean, why now?
Because they take up such a lot of room in the cupboards.
Yeah.
It's a bit heart-wrenching, but
Yeah.
we have nowhere to display them now.
Each piece of Vanda's precious 94-piece collection of cottages, churches and charming Christmas scenes will hopefully make some money towards a pretty summer house for their own garden.
Right, so here we are, Angus. This is our shed.
Very good shed indeed, I like this.
It is, yeah.
So what we're looking at, John, what's...
Right, so there's a couple of ices down there.
Yeah.
And the paraffin blow lamp.
OK.
Toolbox there.
Did you know the metal cantilever toolbox was invented in 1911? I did. This more modern one is just one of many items squirreled away in this shed that won't break the bank, but could still add up on auction day.
That's a car model.
I'm thinking, looking like lots of boxes of things packed up.
There's all sorts of things.
OK, well, leave me to it, John. I'll have a root through and we'll make a start and start getting stuff on the van. There's going to be more than we actually realise. There's some nice things, that phonograph, the propeller blade, you know, they're going to be good saleable bits. There's a lot of boxes of Lilliput Lane, which once upon a time used to be huge collectibles. Sadly now does very little. So we're going to have to sell those in fairly big, bulky lots. But I think for John and Vanda, it's more about clearing the space. These items are being boxed up out the way, and it's about sort of moving them on more than the sort of the monetary value.
With boxes everywhere, each one potentially filled with a hidden treasure, Angus and Charlotte have a mammoth task on their hands today, and that's without being distracted by interesting things.
Look at this, it's incredible. I mean, this must have been put together during the Second World War. And it's a scrapbook album, really, but it's all newspaper cuttings of propaganda cartoons of the time. We've got Churchill there showing great spirit and then, you know, standing proud and tall in Britain with it in the form of a signpost, to give all, to dare all, to endure all. And then you've got the German High Command sat on the shores of France there, looking a little bit confused of how they're going to invade Britain. Is it valuable? Not fortunes. It's great that somebody's put this together and it's kept it as an archive. You know, it's probably sort of £50 to £100 maybe.
The scrapbook that was put together by John's mum is loaded onto the van with the phonograph.
We're getting there, John, we're getting there.
And what's this?
Yeah, are you into modelling or?
Well, I used to be.
Yeah.
But this one, as you say, it's a Fergie. My late mother-in-law was originally in the Land Army
Oh, okay.
during World War II.
Yeah.
And she drove a Fergie.
Vanda's mum worked with the Women's Land Army, who boosted Britain's food production during World War II. And she had a special place in her heart for the Ferguson tractor that she drove to help the war effort.
We bought this kit with the intention of me making it up to give to Mum. But unfortunately, she died, and
Right.
I haven't had the heart to finish it.
No. Well, I was drawn to it because the first vehicle I ever had at the age of, I think I was 13, 14, was a grey Fergie TE20, the exact same model.
Yeah.
So it's a small world.
Isn't it just?
And is this something that you'd be happy for it to go? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, somebody else can have a go at it.
Right, I'll get that on the van.
Right.
This will join all of the other things that John and Vanda have agreed to part with. Items from their 60 years together and heirlooms that once belonged to their parents and other relatives.
Right, come on through.
Oh, wow.
You can see the bed again, which is...
Yeah, that's brilliant.
So how are you feeling about your collection being on the back of the van now?
I don't know, just a little bit empty, but I'm pleased really, just taking up space which we could use now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, it has
And
with you as well.
You're very welcome. We'll head back. We'll see you on sale day.
Yes,
Brilliant.
lovely.
We'll look forward to that.
Okay.
Well,
Well, we're all loaded up, and the real work starts now when we get back to the sale room, sorting through it all, getting it catalogued, photographed, putting in appropriate lots, and that's the bit that really takes the time.
And there's some unusual things in the back of that van, from the Lilliput Lane figurines to the Lancaster bomber propeller, and even a scrapbook of World War II propaganda cartoons. I hope for John and Vanda's sake that the bidders have eclectic taste.
We got a Edison phonograph.
All right, okay. But what kind of horn does it have on it?
What would you expect it to look like?
Well, the standard ones are called a witch's hat horn.
That'll be it.
Yeah, just if you invert it, it looks like a hat. The rarer the horn, the more money that they do, sort of thing.
Do you want to get it off the van now?
Does that mean physical labour?
Yeah.
Go on then.
Auctioneer
There we go.
Yeah, witch's hat.
There we go, told you, witch's hat. There we go.
and part-time witch, Chris, helps Charlotte to unload so the team can get to work on John and Vanda's things. One box has Angus in very high spirits.
The whisky market at the moment is really buoyant, and it's become a huge investment area for people. And it's very easy with miniatures to overlook the potential value, but actually you can get some fantastic whiskies in the miniatures. There's a few things to look at. One, are they all still sealed? And then, how much have they got missing? You can have a sealed bottle, but you lose it through evaporation and things, and then you start picking out certain names. You know, the Macallan, there's a really good one there, the Macallan 1968. Now, if that was a full-size bottle of whiskey, we'd be talking lots of money. And potentially what you could pay for a whole box of these, you might have to pay if you were just buying one standard bottle. So you get a good cross-section for relatively good value.
There are 3 boxes of miniatures in this large single lot, which should fetch between £100 and £200. Just one of the exciting things that the auction team and Angus get to research over the coming weeks. After making the short drive from Hornsey, John and Vanda have arrived to see their collections going under the hammer.
Morning, you all right?
Good morning.
Yeah.
fine, thank you.
Good. You're looking forward to it?
Yes, we are, yeah, very excited.
Well, you come on in and have a look round and I'll see you on the rostrum.
All right, then.
Go this way.
John and Vanda are selling a total of 50 lots in Angus's jam-packed fortnightly general sale.
Wow.
I've got mixed feelings really about John and Vanda's items. They've got 1 or 2 really good bits. The phonograph, that should sell well.
There's our stuff up there, look.
Yeah,
Right.
do we go through?
Yeah.
The thing that I'm really worried about is the Lilliput Lane, because it really struggles. So I'm a little bit on the fence about how this is going to go.
I loved collecting these, didn't I?
How do you feel about seeing them here? Bit sad?
Yeah. Sorry. They're so pretty. Sorry.
Kill me.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Poor Vanda. She's made her peace with her goodbyes. Let's hope Angus doesn't prolong her pain. The punters are in. Charlotte and Jack are in position to handle those internet bids. Removal expert Gary has ironed his porter's jacket, and Angus is raring to go.
Right, are we ready? Oh, there, Charlotte. Yeah, no, sorry, I know we were distracting you from your cake. 1216.
First up is the phonograph music player, made in 1909. And Angus is selling it with a selection of cylinder records.
A lot of interest in this. 160, 70, 80, 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260.
An eager internet bidder takes on a bidder in the room.
320 I've got on the net, 340, 360, 380, 400, 420. 420 in the room. Commissions are out, nets out at 420, final call at 420. 420, thank you.
That's cool.
That's great.
A solid start for the player and records. But will anyone invest in Vanda's 94-piece Lilliput Lane collection?
These are going to make a comeback, aren't they?
Let's hope so.
Angus starts with 12 country cottages, and these are just 6 of them.
£20 and bid, thank you. 22, 5, 8, £28, 28, 30 is it now? 30 and bid at £30 at 30 at £30, 32, £32 at 32 it is, then at £52 at 32.
A dozen Lilliput Lane cottages for just over 30 quid.
Very good.
Yeah.
Everybody has to buy a piece of Lilliput Lane, okay? Otherwise you're not allowed out the building.
Over the next 28 minutes, a total of 9 large Lilliput lots come under Angus's gavel.
£48 it is then at 48. 65 for the rare group of Lilliput Lane at 32.
The whole collection sells for a combined total of £319, a modest amount, but they will be cherished by new collectors.
Never thought they'd be worth all that much.
Next, it's the satirical cartoons from World War II.
This is a really fascinating thing, this. It's a World War II scrap album. It's all the newspaper cuttings, but it's all the propaganda cartoons from the period.
This was Mum's.
I've got 40, 50, 60, 60 and bid at £60 at 60 for the political cartoons. At £60, the propaganda at 60, at 65, 70. £70 a bid at 70 it is then at 70. At £70 it is then at 70. We're all done at £70 for the newspaper cuttings at 70. £70.
It's time for the tractor Angus used to drive as a kid. Well, a model version of it at least. Accompanied by nearly 40 die-cast buses and cars and a 1:18 scale Ferrari. Will this lot vroom?
We are off. 55, 60, 60 and bid at £60 it is then at 570. £70 a bid at 70 it is then it's 580, 80, 5 in the room, 85, 90, 5, 100, 110 in the room, room at 110, 120, 130 in the room, 140, 150, 160.
The man in the room is out, but there's still 2 bidders online.
190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270 at 270, 270, 280, 280, 280, 280. Round it up. 300 and bid, thank you. £300 a bid.
Brilliant.
300 it is.
Yeah.
At £300 at £300 it is. At 300.
Never thought they'd make that.
No, that's excellent.
Yeah.
A great result. Next, it's the Lancaster bomber propeller. Angus won't let this go for less than £300.
Very interesting piece of history. There we go, £200 start me. £200 at £200 at £200 at 200. Let's be on now for a piece of a Lancaster. At £200 at 200 at £200 at 200, 200 at £200. It's got to work for this surely at £200 at 200, 200, 210, 20, 30, 40, 50, 250 at 250.
Angus withdraws the propeller.
Military sale. Long number,
Yeah.
221.
Yeah, right decision.
Yeah.
Yes, Angus will try to sell this another time in a specialist military sale. Onwards and forwards, though. Over the next 20 searing minutes, 36 more eclectic lots gets the Angus treatment, including an officer's compass from World War I,
£48.
that cantilever toolbox,
20.
and a 9-carat gold hand-wound Everite wristwatch.
At 130.
That was thirsty work. Luckily, the last of John and Vander's lots is the collection of miniature whiskies. A wee dram, anyone?
Even you couldn't get through those in one night, Jack, could you? What would you be happy with for these? 100?
Yeah.
Yeah, OK, well, we're at 380. At 380 it is, then at 380 for whiskey miniatures there. At 380, 400, at £400 a bit at 400. At £400 it is, then at £400. At £400 at 400, good night, isn't it? 420, 420 a bit. 420 a bit, 440 a bit, at 440, at 440. Don't mistake it now, I'm going to sell all the miniatures. Last chance, gavels up, at 440.
We can raise a glass to that result.
Never thought they would go for that.
Let's find out if letting go of 60 years' worth of collecting and family heirlooms can fund the garden makeover that John and Vander really want.
Are you doing it right?
Yeah.
Thank you, yeah.
Oh, you're smiling, so that's good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's been good fun.
We always knew the Lilliput Lane might be a little bit tricky, but amazingly, a load of them have gone to Austria.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I suppose you'd like to know how much you'd be taking home. £2,136.
Wow. That's more than I expected.
Good.
I've gone well towards the summer house.
Well, it tots up. I know there was a few things that were, you know, £30, £40, £50s, but you have quite a few lots like that, and it tots up, and
it does.
You know, overall,
brilliant.
no problem at all.
Yeah. Some of the stuff went for exceptional prices, like the whisky miniatures, for instance. They've been kicking about for years, haven't they?
Yeah. And there's still a lot more.
Yeah, probably is, yeah. We might even make a return visit, eh?
Right, yeah.
They had some really good results. The phonograph, we knew it'd sell well, and the whiskies, well, there were some good ones in there, obviously, and that did a really good price, far better than what we would have thought. So it just goes to show the whisky market's really strong at the moment, and yeah, overall, it's been a really good result. It's exceeded our expectations, and it's exceeded theirs.
Angus has 34 storage rooms across the site, so plenty for removals expert Pete to get lost in.
Ah, Pete, there you are.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I need a hand with something. Oh, what are you up to?
These customers just turned up for it. It's been sold, so they're ready here.
Oh, right, excellent. Do you want a hand out with it?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
What's the job you wanted me for, then?
We're going down to Boston in Lincolnshire.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get this sorted and then we'll hit the road, Pete.
Yeah, well, follow me.
Yeah. On
Right,
you go.
I'm going, I'm going.
Don't spare the horses, lads. This next job sounds like a good one.
It is a bit of a trek.
Are we going to go Humber Bridge way?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Barney, he's all strapped in.
It's a 3-hour trip south to Lincolnshire for the boys and Barney.
We're going to see a couple, Simon and his wife, Tony.
Yeah.
So they've downsized and just really need our help to thin out.
Simon and Tony moved into this home just over a year ago. One of 3 children, Simon had a very special bond with his older brother Paul.
Now the gruesome twosome in that picture.
Oh, the fish, look. That's his life, that one, wasn't it? Look, dogs, fish,
Yeah.
fishing equipment.
My brother Paul was 8 years older than me, but we was very close. He could wind you up or make you laugh all day long. He was an absolute scallywag, really. But he would give you the shirt off his back. He was an absolute diamond. Year before last, at Christmas, we got a phone call that he was in hospital. We thought he was going to be coming home, and then we got the news that he wouldn't last a week. It was COVID, so we couldn't see him. And then when we went down to see him, he had a multi-organ failure.
Paul sadly passed away the following January.
It just went downhill really rapidly. It was quite a shock, really.
After adjusting to life without Paul, his family eventually sold his home but couldn't part with all his belongings. Simon and Tony took many items, but having downsized, haven't got the space to store them anymore.
And literally, anything we could save, we did save.
Maybe Angus might be able to get them auctioned off to somewhere that, you know, someone's going to appreciate them.
Right, this is it, Pete. Oh, nice driveway to back into, isn't it?
Yep.
We're here. We're here. We're here.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
Do you want to come in and warm up?
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome to come in. There we go.
Well, there we go. Nice and bright, isn't it? It's yeah, good. How is it that we can sort of help?
Unfortunately, I lost my brother last year, and I've been left with quite a bit of his memorabilia and records, and I would like, if possible, to sell what I can and raise some money for the RNI. That was his charity.
So I'm guessing all piled up on the table. These are all bits that are potentially to go, are they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There is more. We've got upstairs, another room upstairs that's quite full with bits for Paul's and Simon's collections.
Brilliant. Well, shall we take a look at those and then we can make a start?
Yeah.
Brilliant, yeah.
Now I shall go and make a cup of tea.
That sounds wonderful,
Sounds like a plan.
These downsizers would like to use their spare room for guests, but it's full of family items that they no longer need, along with the remaining contents of Paul's house.
As you can see, we have a few bits in here from Paul. He had a bit
Right, into his music.
Into his music,
Yeah.
yes.
And what sort of genre have we got? Because, I mean, vinyl is hit and miss. It depends what it is, really.
Just about everything. Country music, heavy metal, Elvis, and you got Beatles, a lot of Beatles. So, yeah, he liked a bit of
a mixture.
A mixture of music.
Simon also has his own collection that he wants Angus to take a look at too.
I've got my husband's items in the corner there. There's some boxes there. They've all got Camberwick Green.
OK.
Camberwick Green was a children's BBC TV series which ran from January to March 1966 and was repeated for many years afterwards. Simon has over 150 models of the characters and dioramas.
Does he collect them a long time? How would that...
Let me just... most of that is Camberwick Green as well.
OK.
Yeah, he went from not having anything to having everything.
Simon's Camberwick Green fascination began with a traumatic event when he was a young boy.
When I was about 5, I decided one day to pull myself up on the window box, and it took me out the window and 35 or 30 foot down through some railings. And I was off for 6 months in hospital. When I come out, I couldn't speak properly.
During the long, slow rehabilitation process, Simon watched Camberwick Green on TV.
Used to watch them during the day, and while I was recovering, I thought I just got to have these things to remind me of my past. And it just grew and grew, and I think there's a few hundred of them in the end.
And it started with one,
yeah,
and
it just
escalated.
Just grew, yeah.
OK.
Yeah, birthdays, Christmas. We've had them boxed up about 5-6 years.
And to be fair, if they're just in boxes in a cupboard...
Exactly. Someone can enjoy them and put them out somewhere nice, you know.
And the first step towards that is a good sort through. Fancy a bit of Camberwick Green, Angus?
There we go, look at that. I mean, real joyful characters, aren't they? And obviously these figures aren't from the 60s, you know, these have been probably made since 2000, the late 90s, 2000, and they've just become really collectible. A lot of them are limited editions, and, you know, they were good quality. So they do sell well at auction. They vary from, you know, some figures are only sort of £10, £20 up to, you know, some figures can be over £100.
It's time to start filling the van. And Pete's sorting through Paul's 6 boxes of vinyl.
I've never seen that on single before. Incantations, Cassiopeia. Used to dance to that.
Way to go, Pete, ripping up the dance floor. I wonder what Angus got up to when he was younger.
You might not think it when you look at me, but I'm actually quite into chess. I was in the school chess team as a little boy, and, you know, we have the standard chess set, but it's been adapted to show, in this case, all the figures from Waterloo. And it was in 1815 that the battle commenced, and that stopped Napoleon.
The chess set that belonged to Paul is made from pewter and was manufactured by an American company called Franklin Mint.
It's not going to be fortunes, but I think it's certainly going to be of interest to people like me that have got very good taste in militaria and chess, and probably, you know, 30 to 50 pounds.
Tony and Simon's house is starting to churn out some goodies. There's chessboards, boxes of Camberwick Green collectibles, tons of vinyl that poor Pete's been tasked with loading onto the van.
They're heavy, them boxes. Heavier as they go along.
And there's still plenty of boxes to look through.
You know, we've got a rugby ball signed by, I think it's Mike Tyndall. You know, he played for England between 2000 and 2011, so he had a long international career. And, of course, he married Zara Phillips. So it's going to appeal to rugby players, it's going to appeal to people that collect royal items and that sort of thing. And, yeah, if you're a rugby fan, who wouldn't want that pumped up on a shelf?
The rugby ball, like many heirlooms, joins everything else on the van, which is starting to fill up nicely. But some items are simply too precious to give away.
So are these all sort of family bits, aren't they?
Yes, they're my dad's. He was in the RAF.
OK.
He was in Coastal Command, so he was out in Madagascar. He was doing the submarine watches in Catalinas mainly.
Catalinas were flying boats, seaplanes, that could also bomb enemy submarines from the sky.
Got his air book there.
Oh, well, that's quite interesting.
It's got all his flights and missions.
I mean, logbooks are incredibly collectible because it just tells so much history. You can see where he's completed his training.
Yeah.
Flying training there. He's done, at that point, he'd done 142 daylight hours and 23 nighttime hours, and that was it. He would have been basically dispatched for duty. And, you know, we've done here low-level bombing exercise.
He came out in 45, got married to my mum on Christmas Day, and that was it. He never flew again.
What a fantastic piece of family history to
amazing,
go through.
isn't it?
And fascinating, you know, archive. Presumably that'll stay within the family. And
that's something that, you know, you can't replace.
I'm very passionate about my military, so that's
just a little bit of history.
Yeah, thank you. I'll get back to loading the van.
OK, thank you.
The last few pieces of Simon and his late brother Paul's collections are loaded up.
Happy? I fit in it.
And the spare room is now cleared and ready for visitors.
Amazing how much came out of those two rooms, isn't it?
It is, actually.
How are you feeling about your collection bin on the van?
Oh, you'll have to ask me when it goes.
Wonderful. Well, we'll head back up north.
Yep.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, then.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll see you on auction day.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Safe journey.
I think, you know, it is very emotional for Simon and Tony. His brother Paul was clearly very close to all the family, and I think this is probably the sort of one of the final steps in that grieving process. But I also think they've enjoyed the day. Hopefully they'll be pleased on sale day.
There's a lot of work for you to do before then, Angus. Best hurry back to base and get cracking.
Well then, Jack.
Now then, Angus.
You all right?
Yeah, not bad. How was Boston?
All right.
Valuer Jack is here to help unload Simon and Tony's things.
Jack.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Then everything will be researched, photographed, and their details uploaded onto the online auction catalogue. Specialist valuer Nick has been grouping Simon's Camberwick Green collection into clever little lots. To try and understand the method in Nick's madness, auction house valuer Mark has dropped by.
Oh,
So,
well, that brings back memories.
Well, I've had to put this little collection together for obvious reason, because you've got Pew,
Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grubb.
absolutely. The creator, so that was Gordon Murray, he created a Trumptonshire sort of universe. It was Camberwick Green, and then it went on to Trumpton, and then it was Chigley.
Chigley.
The Camberwick Green series of models incorporates figures from all 3 Trumptonshire TV shows.
Just charming little models.
Yeah. Robert Harrop.
Yeah, all Robert Harrop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a well-known sculpting company, been around since the mid-80s. On their own, they're not worth a huge amount of money, but, I mean, you're looking really about sort of £7 a figure, that sort of price.
Yeah. Ah, there we are. Happy memories.
The big day is here, and Simon and Tony have made the trip from Boston.
Ooh, exciting stuff.
Get in there.
Yeah, we're there.
There's Angus.
There's Angus.
Oh, morning, you all right?
Yes, fine, thank you.
Good trip up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Are you looking forward to it? Are you nervous, excited?
Excited, I think.
Yeah, both.
Looking forward to it.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't we go in the warm and have a look round?
Brilliant.
Oh,
yeah,
lovely,
please.
thank you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you very much.
All in all, Simon and Tony have 61 lots in today's sale.
Oh, wow. It's big, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got an interesting mix of items, but, you know, the core of the collection is Simon's Camberwick Green Robert Harrop figures, and I'm a little bit worried. There's a lot. There's a few people watching online, but at this moment it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
Well, there's no turning back now.
All his records. Oh, dear, he had some bad taste in music.
Simon's brother Paul's collection of records runs to 6 boxes, which will be sold as one epic lot.
I could just see him dancing to that.
Oh, God, yeah. With his flared trousers.
Yeah, oh, God.
Angus had better get his groove on for today's sale. Simon and Tony are hoping for a tidal wave of bids because they want to donate the proceeds from Paul's items to the RNLI. Helping to eke out those online bidders are Charlotte and Eleanor, while Sammy will model the items to the bidders in the room. Is everyone ready and looking sharp?
It's a lovely scarf you got on there, actually.
To kick off the rugby ball. This once belonged to Simon and Tony's rugby-mad son.
Oh, this is a good lot. The 2015 Rugby World Cup ball signed by Mike Tyndall. £30 I bid, £30 a bid at 30, the signed rugby ball there at £30 a bid. At 32, 22, 32, 5, 8, 40 is it now. At £38 it is then, at £38, at 38 it is then, at 40, 42, £42 a bid at £42 I'm going to sell then at 42.
The scoreline is looking good. Next, it's Simon's beloved Camberwick Green characters. Deep breath, Angus. There are 33 lots.
Right, we start with this tremendous collection. There we go, I've never seen so many.
First up, it's Pew Pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble and Grub.
Where should be for this? £30 start me at £30 at 30. At 30 bid, thank you. £30 on the net, then at 32.2, we're off now. 35, 35, 38, we're off, yes. At 38 it is, then at 38, 40. £40 at 40. At 42, still climbing 45, £45. 45 for the first lot at 45.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Followed by the Clown musical box.
A lot of interest in this one. 42, 5, 55. 55 we open at. 55, 60, 5, 70. I've got 5. 80, commission's out. 80 in the room. 80 room bid. 85, 90, thank you. 90 in the room. 90 in the room at £90 at 90. Gonna have to hurry you internet at £90. Thank you.
A good start. And the Camberwick Green collectors are circling online. And over the next 40 minutes, Angus rattles through a whopping total of 151 models, including Chippy Minton's workshop,
At 45 for the workshop.
Seasonal Sweet Murphy Christmas,
45.
and finally, Cuthbert and the cider press.
Round it up for me at £55.
In total, Simon's Camberwick collection has raised a whopping £1,840.
That's it. End of an era.
End of an era.
Yeah.
Next, Simon and Tony want to see how much his late brother Paul's items will raise for the RNLI. First up is a large 3.6 times 2.7 metre Persian rug, which was passed down to Paul from his parents.
Was this your mum's, was it?
So we open at 130.
No.
At 130 it is then, at 130, at 140, 150, 150 it is then. For the rug, at 100, 160 fresh bid, 170, 180, 190, 200 on commission.
200.
210, commission's out. 210 for the rug at 210. It's a big one. I'm going to sell at 210.
Fantastic.
I'm surprised Angus isn't bidding for this one himself. Could he do that? It's Paul's Waterloo chess set.
Where should be for that? We're at £75.
Wow.
75 and bid, 80, 85 fresh bid, 90, £90 and bid at 90 it is then at £90. £90 and bid at 90 it is then at 95. I've got 100. At £100 it is. £100 gavels up. Waterloo at £100.
I'm chuffed, man.
Yeah.
Over the next 15 minutes, Angus puts the rest of Paul's lots under the hammer.
At 38. At 28.
And Simon and Tony look happy. But will the sale of the final lot, a collection of vinyl, keep that smile on their faces?
We've done very well with vinyl this weekend.
Yeah, now comes ours.
There are 6 large boxes of LPs and singles in this lot.
At £170, at 170. At
You're
170
joking.
it is then at 170. 180 is it now? 180 is it now? 190, 200 is it now? £200 are you in at 210? At 210 for the vinyl. At 220, thank you. 220, 220, 230, 240, 250. At 260 is it now? At 260, at 270 we're at 270. At 270 it is then. We're all done for the vinyl at 270. Thank you,
Brilliant.
270.
That's great. Yeah, it's brilliant. Oh, I'm really pleased. That was my big wish, Barry.
Many of Paul's items are on their way to be loved by new owners. But how much has been raised for Simon and Tony and for the RNLI, as all proceeds from Paul's things will be going to them?
You're right.
Hello.
In shock.
Very shocked.
Good. A good shock.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right, then. That's all right.
Yeah.
I think there was someone else who liked Camberwick Green.
Well, about 70% of them went to one buyer.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you had a few buyers from Germany after it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anything that particularly surprised you, or vinyl?
Vinyl. Well, the RNLI are going to get the money for that.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
And did you have a figure that you were hoping to raise or anything, or was...
Hopefully about 500 tops.
Right.
Because you'll be taking home 2,293.
No.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yes,
fantastic.
yes.
I don't believe.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
That is really.
That's brilliant, no?
You've done a really brilliant job, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm delighted for Simon and Tony. They've actually had a fantastic sale. They've had some great results. You know, that vinyl, done really well. I think we've exceeded their expectations massively.